Hello, everybody. This is Daniel at night. I have no fucking clue what episode this is. I haven't done this in a while, and so I felt like I needed to do it. For those of you who listen to us, who care, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we've missed as a podcast, as the Fan Zone podcast. There's a whole lot of stuff that I've missed that I work. I'm not working a ton of hours. I'm just generally not available on Fridays due to the way the system works for my particular store. So, and things may or may not get any better. Let's be honest, they may not get better. I'm trying to get a second job. I want to get caught up on all my bills, and I really need to do that. So, anyways, what is it that I need to? Let's get the gaming stuff talked about. So I don't know. It's been for fuck ever. The Xbox Game Pass. I'm previewing that on my Xbox. Since the last time we've talked, I've got Beam. I've tested Beam. It's fantastic. For those of you who've used Beam as a streaming option, it's so much less latency versus its competitors. Game Pass is pretty unique. I want to see more games on it. Right now, there's not a lot of games. At least the last time I checked. I haven't checked again to see if they've added some more. My wife has basically owned the Xbox. She actually is sleeping. I've been sick, and she's been sick. Just different sicknesses, and so she's been sleeping in the living room. That's her choice, not me. The couch is actually really comfortable. So she's been sleeping in the front room, and so basically when she gets home, it's like I've got to get the fuck off the Xbox. I no longer have access to the Xbox. What else? As you can kind of probably tell from my voice, I had bad throat. My throat was bad for about 2 days. I had bad cough. Just like a pounding headache. I worked with that for a day and a half. It's been pretty crazy. But I felt like I needed to talk to you guys because I haven't done it in a while. What other big stuff? Game Pass is pretty interesting. I think it's worth the $10 a month if they eventually want to start launching games on Game Pass. I think that'd be a great spot for games like chapter-based games. I'm trying to think of fucking games. I should put my fucking camera on. I don't even know what the fuck's going on in my front room though, so I mean maybe not want to put a cam on. Let's add a display, game, browser, audio input, audio output, video capture device. Create a new one. How about we do that? We'll use the... it's not even plugged in, is it? What the fuck? Is it unplugged? No, it's plugged in. Why is it not registering? I guess it hates me. Whatever. Who cares? It's not going to work. So, anyways, what else happened? So, Sony, I don't know if this happened since the last time I talked, but so Sony basically shut down all of their PSN, PlayStation Now services on every single device except for Windows PC and the PlayStation 4. I had it on my Vita. I used it back in the beta. I had it on my PS4. I used it back in the beta. For those of you who are fans of Tony, if Tony is listening, I really need I am stuffed up, but I don't know if I've got any tissue here. I think my wife used it all. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Oh, I had to blow my nose. You guys didn't want to listen to that. Where was I at? Oh, so PlayStation Now. So I've used PlayStation Now. I'm not paying $20 a month for it. For those of you who are friends of Tony, or if Tony Polanco is listening to this, I hope I said his. I always fucking, his name is like, his last name is like strange. So I hope I got it right. Good guy. Love listening to him. Don't agree with him all the time. Actually, probably very rarely. He's a Sony guy. He's not a fanboy. He's not a fucking Sony pony. But he has a clear preference for Sony products, and there's nothing wrong with that. He doesn't take it too far, generally speaking. He generally sees things from Sony's side. And I generally see things from Microsoft's side. It's not just because I'm a fan of the Xbox either. I'm a fan of Windows. I'm a fan of gaming, and most games most games can be played on your Windows PC if you got a good enough rig. Something that we'll talk about afterwards. So I think that not only did Sony cancel all of the other devices, that means if you bought a Sony TV, I think some Samsungs, there was some DVD players, or rather Blu-ray players that had PlayStation Now, and they stopped developing it, and they're shutting that down. I'm not sure if just the users who were using that were like non-existent, and so they were like, we don't get enough from this resource to keep on developing for it. So PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox are going to go, well, you don't need PlayStation 4 anymore because we're starting to get PlayStation 4 games on it. You're not going to need the PlayStation 4 anymore. A lot of fucking Sony guys, a lot of ponies are saying well, first of all, PlayStation Now is a shit service. Not the idea, which is not a shitty idea. Gaikai, what Sony is using is shit. It's trash, dude. It's fucking trash. They bought the wrong company. That's all I'm saying. They bought the wrong company. And they're paying for it. And they're paying for it fucking hard. Because I played PlayStation Now, and I was playing Samurai. What the fuck was I playing? I bought it on fucking GOG. Shit, there's an update on GOG. It's one of the Samurai games. Really fucking a unique game that's been only on the PlayStation consoles. And so I played it. Really fun. It's not a long game from beginning to end, but there's like so much variety, so much different shit you can do, so many different paths you can run in this short little this game. The game's probably 4 or 5 hours. Depending on how you play. Oh, Way of the Samurai. I think it was Way of the Samurai 3. I really liked it. I bought Way of the Samurai 4 on on my PC, and I played that, and it's really fun. I like this. I liked Way of the Samurai. I want to talk about another game as well. We'll do that afterwards. And even in that game, which is a 30 FPS game, low graphics, not intensive, doesn't require. I'm lying, but it doesn't require you to be like pinpoint accurate, right? It's not a racing game. It's not a fucking shooting game, so you can get away with some lag in this game. Where you can really notice lag is when you're trying to parry. And Way of the Samurai, parrying is super important. I didn't realize how fucking important it was until I actually played Way of the Samurai 4 on my PC. Super fucking important. I loved playing it on PlayStation Now when I was doing the beta test. I have a pretty decent connection, 300 megabit down, and about 25 up. So I don't have the streaming issues that some other people may have, but I still had hiccups, right? I still had those hiccups, and it was really fucking annoying. So I can't imagine trying to play a racer or anything like that. If they can fix some of these problems, they're PlayStation 3 games, right? So there's the other issue, right? So they're playing these games on PlayStation 3 hardware because there's no emulating it, there's no using it. They want to add PlayStation 4 games to it. This is less of a deal, right? So the PlayStation 4 is a fucking computer. It is a PC running my brain fault. It's a Linux distro. Let's say if I can't remember what it is. PlayStation 4. So Orbis OS. It's a modified version of FreeBSD. Close this fucking shit. So FreeBSD is a Unix OS, which is real low, doesn't take up a lot of spot. But somebody got a bootloader running on the PlayStation 4, and they were able to see it. This is from Extreme Checks. This is from back in 2013. Excuse me. So it's running Unix. There's no fucking reason that they can't be running these as VMs, right? They can have these on servers, and they can be running them as virtual machines, and they just can queue these fuckers up with exact fucking PlayStation 4 specs. Queue these fuckers up, right? And then they use encoding. There's a lot more they can do with the PlayStation 4 games that they can't do with the PlayStation 3 games because they're locked down. Because the PlayStation 3 is so fucking complicated. It was so fucking crazy that you just can't do anything. It's why you'll never see PlayStation 3 emulation that's any good. The fucking Cell is super powerful CPU. The difference in what you can do with the Cell CPU and the fucking shit that the fucking PlayStation 4 and Xbox are using, CPU wise, is like fucking night and goddamn day. Their biggest problem was they had split their RAM. We won't go into that. Who gives a fuck? That was last gen. But they're actually using PlayStation 3 hardware. And then they're running this Gaikai service. I don't know how they're doing it, but I can't imagine that it's as smooth as running PlayStation 4 games on a virtual machine. Okay. So my guess is they've got virtual machines, and they're just running instances of the PlayStation. This is what they're going to probably be doing. They're probably running instances of PlayStation 4s on virtual machines, and when someone needs it, they'll just queue up another fucking VM and queue up another server. Whereas there's probably some kind of finite resource on the PlayStation 3s that they don't have that same issue with the PlayStation 4. Here's another benefit. I think that PlayStation 4 games will run better on the service than PlayStation 3 games. I think that when, I don't know if they're running PlayStation 2 games, but emulators for PlayStation 2 have been around for fucking ever. That could be that could be run on a VM as well. PlayStation 1 games can be run on a virtual machine, but PlayStation 3 games are not going to be run on virtual machines. So that's all hardware. And it wouldn't surprise me if they've got like fucking, you know, a couple thousand PlayStation 3s and fucking basically PlayStation 3s in a rack server, right? And they're just fucking PlayStation 3s wired together, fucking running these games that you're loading up. So I think that PlayStation 4 games will run better. Tony thinks that it's dumb, and I think that he thinks that'll just be old games. And I think if Sony does that, they're killing PlayStation now. If they're not going to put new games on it, fucking stop. Stop. Fucking take all the games off and fucking end the service. Just fucking end it. Because it's retarded. It's dumb. And take the PlayStation 3 and say, sorry fuckers, no PlayStation 3, and create another service that's like Game Pass, but you can't get PlayStation 3 games, but you can get PlayStation 4, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 1 games. Because they can't fucking do this. They can't keep doing this. They either need to fucking get the streaming service, they need to go all the way. All the fucking way. Every first party game needs to be on there. If they're not fucking saying, hey, we believe in this so much, we're going to put fucking all of our games on here, what are third party going to do? First of all, EA doesn't give a fuck about you. You told them go fuck them. You told EA to go fuck themselves with EA Access. So if you're not going all in, don't go in at all. Cancel the service. Give people their fucking money back. Whatever you have to do. But $20, you better get your fucking money's worth. $20 a month is a lot of fucking money. That's $240 a year. That's 4 games. 4 brand new fucking games. 4 brand new games for a year of service. And if you're adding fucking PlayStation Plus on top of it, which you don't need in order to use the service, I mean, that's a lot of fucking money. $300. Brand new fucking PlayStation 4. Way more than a brand new PlayStation 4. That's almost a PlayStation. That's almost a PS4 Pro. So, if you're not fucking putting all your games on there, shut the shit down. We don't fucking need it as a gaming community. Either go in, either shit or get the fuck off the toilet, as my brother-in-law likes to say. Shit or get off the toilet. Go in all the way, or fucking don't go in at all. And you need to put these games on it. And look, for PlayStation 4 users, they're not gonna fucking, they're not getting the service to play PlayStation 4. Some of them may, right? They'll play it for a little while. They may play a game they're not sure about for fucking whatever, you know, for a few minutes. And then, but even if they get it for a month just to try these games, it's $20 that you probably never were going to get from them. Just so they could try out this game. What if they try out the game and that you get $20 and then they go buy the game? That's $80, right? And then there'll be people that just keep on fucking spending money on it. And maybe those people are going to be like, those are the people that buy Call of Duty and fucking EA or one of the two EA Sports games, depending on where they live, and maybe the show. And they buy maybe 2 or 3 games a year, and they're like, oh, I'll pay this service. The show should be on there, by the way. You need to have these games on there. Because you're telling, if you don't, then you're telling third-party publishers that you don't believe in your service. And if you don't believe in their service, why the fuck would they believe in the service? And you might as well stop it. And you might as well just take the PS3 and toss it. Fucking forget about the PlayStation 3 and just create emulators for the PlayStation 4, for the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 and sell those games. Create a Game Pass like service where you get 100 fucking PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 4 titles. And you've got a fucking bunch of them, Sony. You've got a fucking bunch of them. But you're never going to get fucking backwards compatibility. It's just not going to happen. It's not the difficulty. I just don't think it's physically possible for it to happen. So what else? Onto Tony's discussion. I think if they go all in, it's the only way to make money. Software as a service. What some people don't understand is there's 2 ways to do this. You either sell the game digitally or you sell it as a service. Because when you sell the game, first of all, you're printing the game. That's overhead. You're packaging the game. That's overhead. All the case, all that shit's overhead. Then you're selling it for a reduced price to fucking Walmart or fucking GameStop or whoever. And then they're selling it for like, not even a lot, right? Just like a 2.5% to 10% fucking overhead, right? So you're fucking losing significant amount of monies on not per disc, right? So per disc it might be like $5, $2.50 to $5 you're losing because of overhead. 2.8 million later, and that number looks real ugly. And then you start spanning it out to every single game over the whole life of the console. You're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. And if you could start cutting that out, you want to start cutting that out. You don't want to sell. You want people to instead of software as a service has very little overhead. Right now, that more overhead is from the PlayStation 3 than probably anything else. But right now, software as a service has very little overhead. The cost of running the servers that they're already going to run, just keep on going. And as it goes on, right, as your PlayStation, these servers are going to get cheaper. Everything's going to get cheaper. And when the PlayStation 5 comes out, it'll get a little bit more expensive, right? Because you're going to have to, if you're going to start adding the PlayStation 5 to it, you're going to have more powerful servers. But these servers are just going to get cheaper and cheaper. And there may come a point where $20 is just too much a month. But if you're charging $20, you've got to fucking legit. You can't bullshit people. You've got to have everything. You got to fucking throw it all on the table. And if you can get people this, if you believe in the service, Sony believes in the service, and they think, then all their new games need to be on there, because you may get a guy who loves fucking PlayStation, and he may buy these games and the service. A lot of people won't get the service. Sony needs it'd be easier It'd be easier if they just got rid of the PlayStation 3. That would be the easiest way. They'd save a lot of money if they just got rid of the PlayStation 3 as part of the service. I think that's an overhead for them, and that's why it's so expensive. But there's services coming out that are free that do this for PC. The overhead, all their cost is going to come from advertisers. Sony's got to throw it down. They've got to lay it down, or they just need to stop it. And I think as we go on, all that stuff will get cheaper. The cell processors will never get cheaper because I don't think anybody's making them anymore. So once those PS3s start failing, I mean, how many people... Eventually, you'll be able to emulate them. We'll get there. Maybe some of these server CPUs will be able to do it with their 24 fucking streaming processors. SMT. We'll see. Anyways, what else? Yeah, software as a service. Big money in that. Huge money. Don't believe me? Look at Office 365. Google's... This is software as a service. I pay for Office 365. Google's fucking Office Suite. Amazon's getting in the game. These are Office products, but it's the same idea. Software as a service, less overhead, tons of profit. Per user, I'm paying $8 a month. What do you think it costs them to keep me in the loop? Right? It doesn't cost them fucking $8 a month to keep my shit, to keep me running, for me to use that service. It's also useful for all kinds of different things, collaborations. A team can pay a single price and make sure that everybody has the latest Office products. Everybody's got the latest Word, the latest everything, so everybody's on the same page. There's team share, which is a big deal. But anyways, this is the benefit. Software as a service. Eventually, where we're going to go is we not. You gotta be fucking shitting me. Oh man, is it fucking locked up? Is it even recording? This is fucking garbage, dude. It just locked the fuck up. I think it's that whole screen. I don't know. Test. I don't even know if it's fucking working. Is it recording? I think that screen just locked up because I can see in my preview that it's still recording. We're still recording. For whatever reason, it's the screen. I think maybe locked up. Which is real weird. I wonder if I can move it. Alright, click. Move. Alright, so I moved it over. It's like my entire Other side of the screen is just stopped working. That's weird. Never seen anything like that. I'm gonna have to go into my display setting and see if something happened. Identify. Yeah, it's not. It is not. Detect. That is weird. So, I don't know. Anyways, we're good. We're good. So it's still recording. I wish I could show you this. So I think that Tony is wrong. I think that it's their best interest to just lay it all, go all out, and do this shit. What else? So I downloaded Torment's Tides of Numeria, who I kickstarted them. I forgot I kickstarted them. So I went onto the website and I realized that I owned. I was in the beta. My beta's on Steam, but I was able to get a GOG.com version of it, to which I downloaded it and I started playing it, and I couldn't make it through the character creation portion of the game. It was so fucking boring that I could not make it through the character creation portion of the game. I played Torment. I played the game, and this is nothing like it. I'm like, what the hell? There were points in Planescape Torment, which is what they're doing, basically, spiritual successor. There are a lot of points in Planescape Torment where, like, you had to specifically have certain stats. A lot of people said if you didn't play a spellcaster, like, you lost out on the game. I'm going to go ahead and click install. It's a significantly better game, by the way, Planescape Torment. So disappointed, and it was so fucking bogus. What it reminded me of is like they took Planescape Torment and the setting of the world, and then they took Shadowrun, and they tried to mesh them together, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing, dude. I don't know what they're doing. Oh my god. But whatever they were doing is bad. It's bad. It's horrible. It was so bad that I just quit in the middle of making. In the middle of the fucking making in the middle of making my character, I was like, "All F4, dude. Fuck this. I have no interest. Zero. In playing this game." And I was super fucking excited to play this game when I put down the money, and it was fucking years ago. So if you're a fan of sales, fucking GOG got it. GOG has a pretty nice sale. David Tentacle 67% off. Grim Fandango is 80% off. Broken Age is 80%. Witcher 2 is 80%. Brutal Legend is 90% off. Psychonauts is 80% off. Massive Chalice 80. Wolf Among Us 75. From the Borderlands 75. There's some pretty good deals on here. What was that? Oh, Planescape Torment. I need to install something to get it to work. So I've been really upset with that. I was really upset. To make myself less upset, I downloaded Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodline, and I went and downloaded the unofficial patch, which fixed a ton of shit, and I started playing it. And I wish there were more mods for it. It's got some pretty fucking extensive mods for it, but I wish there was some graphical mods for it, or someone took the fucking game and put it on. Someone took the game and they were putting it on a Unity 5. Activision apparently doesn't like people taking their shit and making it better, so they fucking put a cease and desist, I think, on that group. But it's still some of the coolest music in games. You could pull the fucking MP3s right out of the game if you download the game, and I think it was like $4. I bought it for $4. I own it for Steam, but modding it on Steam is just a pain. So, anyways, I got Wizardry 8. I bought Arcanum, which is super awesome for people who love those type of games, like fucking Planescape Torment, and Baldur's Gate. And of that ilk, Arcanum is a really good game. Really fucking brutal, though. So brutal. I created like a super character. My fucking character is like fucking maxed the fuck out on his stats. His stats are maxed out. And it's just brutally hard. If you have a newer machine, you've got to go in and... Arcanum is not Windows 10 compatible. Even for GOG. You gotta download widescreen patch. You've got to download there's another patch for people. A lot of people will be playing the game and it'll be real buggy for them. Like, you'll hit a button and it'll take like 12 seconds for the button for something to happen. You try to move something, it'll take forever for it to happen. There's a patch for that. I've been playing mostly PC games. I had to rebuild my whole computer. I don't know if I talked about that last time I was on. From scratch. Catastrophic failure. I was able to get my PC. I was able to get my PC up enough to where I was able to do a refresh, and that was able to get everything working again. But a complete refresh, I deleted everything. I lost all kinds of files, pictures, all kinds of stuff. So it sucked, but it's better that than than not having anything working. What else? Trying to think what other stuff. Oh, so I was reading like horrible stuff on the new Mass Effect game, and then I watched some of the animation, and the animation's pretty fucking bad, dude. It's really bad, and you can hear my voice changing because of my fucking throat. Sorry about that. The animation looks horrible. I'm gonna have to restart my computer after this. The animation is just bad, and that kind of pisses me off, because I love BioWare, and it seems like they're catering towards people that don't matter. And if you're a fucking SJW, I'm not afraid of my opinion. You're a fucking idiot. You come in and you fucking ruin everything you touch. Everything you touch, you fucking ruin. Justice doesn't need you, you piece of fucking shit. Justice is fine all by herself. That's why she's fucking blind. She can't see social status. She can't see skin color. She can't see sexual preference. All she sees is right and wrong. Stop this fucking shit. Social justice, environmental justice. This shit is fucking dumb. And I'm fucking tired of it. I'm getting on my motherfucking soapbox because I'm so fucking tired of it. Stop shoehorning this shit in. Stop focusing on this shit. Stop. Stop putting a guy in there or a girl in there or a fucking black guy or a fucking Mexican. It's the fucking future. None of this shit should matter. It shouldn't even be a focus. Remember back in the days, if your character was gay, you just chose a romantic relationship with one of the male characters. Now it's like you've got to fucking build it in. You got to waste. Who gives a fuck? That should be secondary. Relationships are important in these games, but the romance should be a secondary, like a third tritary. That should be down there. That should be the main plot of the game. You know, and if you're going to make it the main plot of the game, make it the main plot of the game. Make it the main plot of the game. Relationships are ugly. You want to know what a fucking new relationship is like? Boring for everybody not in that relationship. It's so fucking boring to watch two people in love. Those people are having the time of their fucking life. But if you're from the outside looking in, you're like, God damn. I used to hang out with this guy, or I used to chill with this chick. We used to go drinking on Saturdays and fucking bowling, and we used to fucking go out and fucking hike in the woods and fucking shoot shit. And you know, we used to do this. We used to do these things together. Not all the time, but every now and then. But now we're not even doing it then. And then you have to wait for the relationship to kind of settle down, and then hope to God that the one of the other isn't like a fucking psycho. Stop hanging out with him. He drinks too much. Or man. If you're a dude, you're like sitting out. Bill Burr did a thing. You're like a rock, and the chick is like the ocean. That relationship. You don't want to be in that relationship where like you're the rock and the other person is the ocean. Just you can't do this. And it's just fucking eroding away. One day you look up and you're like in the middle of a fucking ocean, and you see your friends, and they're going out to do something fucking fun. You're like, hey, take me too. Bill Burr is like, you're holding your baseball cards and be like, oh, I like sports. I swear. So yeah, if you're gonna make it a main plot, make it a main plot. Otherwise, it should be something that you shouldn't focus on. It should be something that if the player wants to focus on, they can focus on it. They can work on it. They can specifically go at it. But it should be something you create as a side. It should be like, here's the game. And if the relationship isn't something that's a main point, and generally if you want that, you've got to fucking set that relationship right off the bat. Right? You can't have a pick and choose. Like, oh, I want to fuck Rex or something. You know, fucking. Like some of the crazy stuff you could do in some of the previous BioWare games where you can just bang aliens. You gotta have a set relationship, and that relationship needs to go up, and it needs to go down, it needs to go to fucking hell, it needs to go to heaven, it needs to go all fuck, and get all fucked up, and fucking fuck with the plot line. And you need that moment where you're just like, what the fuck, right? And the other person, the person that you're in a relationship with, is is fucking doing something to stop you from fucking your main mission, right? And you're trying to go from point A to point B so you can get to point C. But your main squeeze is like, no, I don't want you to go to point B. But you can't get to point C without going to point B, so there's that relationship issue. And then you have to deal with the fallout, because the most important thing is getting to point B and not your relationship, because your relationship, while it's important to you, is not important to everybody else. Right? Because generally, especially in BioWare games, you're a leader. There's more than yourself writing on this. And that should be important, but that should, if you're not having this set romance, right? So you got to have that romance to start off with, and it has to continue on. You have to have that set romance, and there has to be a reason for that romance, because if there's not a reason for that romance, to just a romance interest, then that shit needs to be way down the list on important things to do. It needs to be what it was like in Mass Effect. You could play through the whole game without having a romance. It's nothing. Do nothing. You can be great people. You can love your whole crew. Your whole crew could be awesome. You can go through the whole game. It wasn't even important. And every game after that, it became a little bit more important, because you can always bring your love interest through to the next game. So, there doesn't need to be a representation for everybody, right? In the future, there's going to be less black people. I do T-Rex quotes, right? Less Mexican. There's not going to be this idea, right? This is so far in the future where we basically everybody's together, because if we're not together, we're dead. And there's gonna always be like, there's always gonna be something, right? But it shouldn't. You need to take the race out of it. You need to take the shit. You need to take some of the shit out of it. There, of course, needs to be some people who have dark skin, some people who have lighter skin, some people who are in the middle. But don't fucking purposely like, oh, here's our black guy. Just put a black guy in. Who gives a fuck? Write a story. Don't create characters and write the fucking story. If it's good, who gives a fuck? Don't fucking add people. That's why I'm tired of fucking adding people. When you're playing a game, it's like, why is there no female playable character in Final Fantasy 15 in the main group? Because they were going to add one, but she felt tacked on. Why? Because it's a group of fucking it's a group of guys who grew up together. You've got the outcast. You got the big strong guy, the protector. You've got the smart one, and you've got the main character, right? Who brought them all together. People who would probably never talk to, never socialized. You had the sinner, the guy who brought them all together. And just throwing a female in there broke up the team dynamic, because dudes are different. Like, if you had a whole bunch of chicks kind of just chilling, they've been friends, and they're going out for fucking save the world, not because they want to, but because fucking that's just the way the fucking cookie crumbled. Right? There's generally not going to be a dude in there, which is always a bad idea. You should never have a dude with a bunch of chicks. You never should have a chick with a bunch of dudes. You can kind of sort of get away with it, but it's never a good idea. You gotta have a kind of a mix, a balance, right? 5 dudes, 4 chicks, 5 chicks, 4 dudes. You gotta have some kind of balance. And it should never be perfect balance. It should always be some kind of... Then you can get infighting, right? I like this guy. Right? So what else? Fuck you, SJWs. You're just people. Justice doesn't need your help. Justice needs help, right? But justice is blind. And so it doesn't need help from social or environmental. It doesn't need you to tack something on it. If something is just, so it's either just or it's unjust. When you add social to it, it no longer becomes justice. Because justice is blind. Alright. That's me getting on my fucking shit. I'm gonna go ahead and watch fucking Next Gen 720's podcast. Anyways, want to thank everybody for listening. You can help us get our podcast back up on audio podcasts. Go to patreon.com/fanzone. Donate whatever you can. $30 is all we're looking to get. That'll pay for the podcast. Audio podcast. Anyways, thanks for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic day or night, whatever time it is for you guys. Peace.